DJ all the way. It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, running back David Johnson, fresh off 100 yards on the ground a week ago, as it'll be the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Arizona Cardinals. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are about 15 miles west of downtown Phoenix at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. A moment ago, this Arizona crowd was on its feet. The defensive starters, led by perennial All-Pro Patrick Peterson, were introduced. Now they've got a tough one on their hands as they'll square off with the San Francisco 49ers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row. On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by their quarterback, standing at 6'2" from Eastern Illinois. It's Jimmy Garoppolo. That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively. No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run. But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses. Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense. To throw is Garoppolo. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that. And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct? I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? What's that? Who are the freshest guys? Coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday and the pep in their step, you go to them early and often. That's going to set them back 5 yards.
Still second down.
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. Over the middle to Kittle, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Garoppolo to his tight end Kittle for a Niner first down.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. Now a play fake here on first down. Flushed out right. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, McCaffrey. Sharp move, but can't find much space. Dropped just inside the 20. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. A look now at the defensive starters for the Cardinals. They were very good last week in the win over the Saints.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, have to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field strength has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it up.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. As his guys are in for 6. And the 49ers drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. Gould able to tack on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. That time, a 9-play drive. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. Gould now out to kick it away. Green to bring it back. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top? He's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. For Johnson, the numbers for his performance from last week, very productive. 3 touchdowns, 2 of them on the ground, 1 through the air.
And it will always be a compliment to say that a guy's got a nose for the end zone, and he sure had it last week. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
He'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
A nice performance last week, recognized as NFC Player of the Week after going over 100 yards rushing. I just love the vision. I love the wiggle he has, but I also love the power when he ends his runs.
That's what impressed me. Yes, there was some elusiveness last week. A couple times he just ran over guys. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Here we go now.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down.
That was a terrific job by the defense stopping them on 3rd and short. But sometimes you get some visual cues from the offense because when they're going in short yard situations, you might see the offensive line come in tighter together, a little more shoulder to shoulder, trying to wedge a hole in the middle. They didn't get it done on that play.
And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a 1st down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it,
1st down.
you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
A false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 1 quarter in the books here on a Thursday night. 7-0 is our score. We'll return after this message. You're watching the NFL, and it's right here on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
2nd quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. On play action, now Garoppolo. He'll rifle this one deep right side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? it certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
Garoppolo looks to throw. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 yards through the air and a first down. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. They go play action here on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's taken down inside the 30. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. Going for it all. And incomplete, he dropped it in the end zone. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Garoppolo to try again on second down. Looking for the end zone. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
The beauty of being able to play his own defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? It creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
Now it's Gold after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. And we check the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. The first down carry here for Johnson. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Now a handoff. Johnson. And an alley to run. And they're well past midfield, just a or two shy of the 40. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to the end zone real fast.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And now running right through it. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now Johnson. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Johnson. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. And this is a guy who last week not only helped his real team, but really helped a lot of fantasy teams. 3 trips to pay dirt. They've got to contain it.
And watching him play is like going to lunch with you when you order that combo plate, right? In this case, his combo plate is he can go over the top of you and catch it in front, turn it into a big gain, run past.
And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals have cut it to within a score.
In as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
Now Stephen Gostkowski on for the extra point. Extra point good by Gostkowski. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This will be taken about the 12. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Garoppolo escaping the pressure right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. On play action, it's Garoppolo. Flush to his right. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Garoppolo to throw on 3rd and 1. Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
13.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. McCaffrey with a first down and more. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And across the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the 49ers add on to their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Now Gold for the extra point. Gold with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. Gold now out to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now let's look at David Johnson. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. They'll look to throw here on first down. Over the middle, complete. That's Cole. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. They'll drop to throw. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
They'll He'll set up to throw. Now the Niners get there and bring him down. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Green 39!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Johnson the intended target, and it's third down. So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. Now Gostkowski will come on to try a field goal. This from 54 yards away. This one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
11.
Garoppolo, a final shot here before half. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and CD in a minute. First, it's time to take a look at what we've got coming your way this weekend in the NFL. In the early window, we'll have our eye on that game in Jacksonville. The Jaguars going to need to be on their A game as they'll square off against the visiting Houston Texans. Lots to look forward to in the late games as well. One of the best being up in Seattle, where we find the Seahawks taking on the Oakland Raiders. And one final game to highlight. It's Sunday Night Football, and they've got a good one this week between the Minnesota Vikings and the New York Giants. In the game you're watching, it was Jimmy Garoppolo who was brilliant in that first half. His guys lead it by 10 as we send it back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Gentlemen.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Green to bring it back. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. A full start backs them up 5, 1st and 15.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey,
Here we go now.
these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage would be found.
Green 39.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Underneath for Johnson. 7 yards on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
They'll run it now out of the gun. The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it. But an alert 49er able to gain possession, so they will indeed hold on to the pigskin.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Here we go.
On second down, here's Garoppolo. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. It'll be a gain of 4, and they're going to have a third down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it.
Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fake.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They go to Johnson again. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
He'll look to throw. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
The tackle there by Patrick Peterson. Wasn't able to get anything, no gain. Fumbled once already. Maybe he's being a little careful. Not necessarily on that play, but I'm sure that's in his mind somewhere.
Oh, without a doubt, because protecting the football is job one for anyone who's carrying it. And that's exactly what he tried to do on that play, but it didn't gain him any yardage.
And this one's incomplete. He was trying to get it to George Kittle, his tight end. It's third down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of...
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Bruce Irvin coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be fourth down.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now a play fake here on first down. Looking deep downfield. And nearly picked off there. And it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
And that was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on first down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Blue 90. Blue 90.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward.
Boy, Brandon, that's what I'd call an ill-advised pass right there on 3rd down. I mean, you just need a yard or two to keep the drive going. Instead, he's trying to hit a home run. You've got to really like your chances if you're going to take a shot like that.
Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the 3rd quarter. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Play action, Garoppolo. They find some open field here. Throw right side taken in by Pettis. And he's going to get this deep onto Arizona's side of the field. A big play there for the Niners. 62 yards.
That was a nice pickup, some chunk yardage there. Some of those big yards downfield with a little bit of rack thrown in there, a little run after catch, and it came on a crossing route. I could just hear one of my friends who won 4 Super Bowls as a quarterback always said the same thing. What route does a defense hate? Crossing route. Hate it, hate it, hate it, because it's hard to change direction when they get going full speed in the other way.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's 49er football here. They've got the lead as well as we get set to start the 4th and final quarter. Garoppolo looking very comfortable running this Niners offense. He's got a 1st and 10. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
On the ground, McCaffrey, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Robert Kindici in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Gold is able to put it through. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So they settle for just the 3. But clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt. Obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off. But they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cole. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. They're giving those short little routes. Tackled him in bounds, too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
They'll look to throw here. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Well, you're trailing. It's the 4th quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Back to the ground on 1st. It's McCaffrey. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
This is McCaffrey on the give. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Gold is able to put it through, and that will swell the lead to 16. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
Now it's Gold after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Throwing right in, that's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. Back to throw now on first down. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Now back to throw. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it.
Here we go. Boom, landed.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And snapped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, his intended target. And that'll bring up second down.
Tell you what, Brandon, if I see a dime look, if I see 6 defensive backs near the goal line, I'm changing to a running play every time.
And they had 6 there. Surprised he didn't audible at the line?
Very much so. I'm going to count on my offensive line in this situation against the lighter defense.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Well, they knew a lot of steps had to happen here. They got step 1, the touchdown. You need a 2-point conversion here, don't you?
You do, and as you continue to look ahead, if you're able to get that, somehow get the ball back and get another score, they have to go for 2 again. That's why teams are practicing multiple 2-point plays.
We saw that in Super Bowl 51 with the Patriots getting a pair of big 2-point conversions. And that one is caught. So they convert here, and don't look now, but this one's back to a 1-score game. So a little under 50 seconds to go. Plenty of time if they can get this onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is recovered by the Cardinals. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
This challenge was initiated by the guys in New York. Taking a look at the play, less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach wanted to challenge it, so he's probably going to send the New York office a holiday card.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the
Second
field
and
is
12, and you'd
reversed.
have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. The Cardinals forced to burn their third and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. The Niners on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 16. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game.
Timeout offense.
And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes a timeout. And now we're set to get going. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And off the crossbar, and it kicks back out. Needed maybe a foot or 2, but it's no good as it stands. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still... You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the 49ers, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Seattle Seahawks. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.